Messi now. Everyone on the edge of their seats. Messi going for goal!
Join the fun, the excitement, the build-up to the World Cup, Russia 2018. Join Sam and Bayo right here on this station as they review notable World Cup moments, participating teams, individual players, coaches, match officials, and many more. You don't want to miss Russia Roundup with your hosts Sam and Bayo right here on this station.
At last, Wayne Rooney has scored and the World Cup. It's an own goal. Brazil are behind off Marcelo. A nightmare start for the host nation.
5 times champion, and of course they call them the Samba Boys. Brazil had a very tricky group in Group E at this year's FIFA World Cup. It's going to be Brazil, Switzerland, and of course Costa Rica, and one other great team in Europe, Serbia, that will be fighting it out for the top 2 spots at that particular group in this year's World Cup. Welcome to another, hopefully exciting episode of Russia Roundup. My name is Bayo and Arashi, and of course it's always very, very my joy and my privilege bringing this show your way every week. I have, as usual, here Sam Bono with me on the show today. Sam, what's up, man? Good to see you today.
Welcome to another great episode of Russia Roundup here on Vineyard TV 15.8 Houston, Texas. You can join us on this show, be part of a sponsorship, call the number you see on your TV screen, and inquire how you can be part and parcel of this great program. There you have it. It is always here, and of course we are always very excited bringing this show to you, and the best way we are going to be even better encouraged is for you to come showcase your products and services on this program. You see this right here, scrolling here, your product might just be in that position, and of course we can also showcase your adverts on this show. Sam, we're looking at Group E on the show today. The Samba Boys, 5 times world champion. Of course, this should be a very easy group for the Brazilians, but it is the beautiful game, it is soccer, anything can happen. But do you think there will be any surprise waiting for the Brazilians in this Group E?
This group is a very tricky group. Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, Serbia. And everybody expects Brazil to win every World Cup they featured in. We saw in 2014 when they hosted. That team had players, good, talented players.
They do.
But
they did, rather.
But they weren't playing as a unit. That was why we saw Brazil beat them.
We have individual players with talent, and they weren't playing as a team. So I think that campaign taught them a very good lesson, and they went back and kind of, trying to rebuild their team. And this coach has done marvelous work for Brazil. We saw, what he did during the qualifiers, 18 games, 41 points. That shows that Brazil mean business. This year. And if you check the World Cup Brazil have won, their 5 World Cup, mostly they're outside the shores of South America. They won in Mexico, they won in Sweden, they won in Japan, Korea. And they won in USA.
They won in US 94. So I see this World Cup as Brazil World Cup. And in fact, they are my number 1, nation that I tip to leave this Mundial this year.
Okay, looking at their first game, Nigeria. I said Nigeria. Oh, well, I mean, it's allowed. I am Nigerian before anything else. But of course, Brazil against Switzerland on the 17th of June at the Rostov-on-Don Stadium, Rostov Arena. Switzerland are not a bad team.
They're only a pushover.
Remember that the FIFA headquarters is sitting in Zurich in Switzerland. And of course, this team has had a very, very, very decent time in the FIFA World Cup history. They've won some very, very good games in the past as well. And of course, you cannot just push them over. Even though one of their top talents, Bender and Shaqiri, only play for Stoke City in the English Premier League, but there's also some other players that we might not have heard of, and all of that. And of course, Granit Xhaka with Arsenal. Thank you for that for that particular one.
Is Fry still playing for them?
I mean, until we probably see that squad, the coach will be parading on that day. But of course, like you said, a lot of us and a lot of people that are soccer lovers naturally want or know that Brazil should nick this one. But if you look at the way the Switzerland qualified for the FIFA World Cup, definitely you can't push them over in this one.
No, you cannot. They played 10 games and they had 27 points, and they advanced to the playoff where they beat Northern Ireland. And they
beat them home and away.
And Switzerland have played in 10 World Cups, and their best results have been quarterfinal 1934, 1930, and 1954. So who will say it is in the days of the year that they really made an impact in the World Cup? But Switzerland, they're not a pushover team, And if Brazil goes into that game underrating them, they will pay for it. Because Switzerland, I have seen in recent past, they play as a unit, they defend as a unit, and they attack as a unit. And they play good football because they were in the same group: Portugal, Hungary, Faroe Island, Latvia, and Andorra.
I was gonna really say that of course, grabbing 27 points in your group stage, there shouldn't be any reason for you to go for a playoff in that particular, because we just said it in the previous episode that we did last week that was the other team now that we have. Iceland in that group only had 22 points and they never went for any playoff. But to think that Switzerland, even with 27 points, they still had to go through the playoff to be able to qualify for the World Cup. This should be another point for Brazil to really think about, that these guys are motivated. They paid their price to be at this World Cup. So the Brazilians should not underrate them.
They end their qualifier ticket, and they're in Russia 2018. So in the game against Brazil is fair to when looking at the parade, the squad, Brazil parade, the Neymar, Coutinho, name the players, the best players in Europe, and you won't see a Brazilian there. Just give me names.
Before we go on the first quick break, does any surprise await us on that day? Switzerland?
No.
Brazil?
No, Brazil will wrap it up.
Okay, Sam.
Brazil will wrap it up.
Right there, you know him. Very controversial.
Brazil will wrap it up.
He always say he always says it just the way he feels about it.
Yeah, because
of course we go on the first break on the show today, Sam, real quick, and then when we come back, we'll look at the other game, Costa Rica against Serbia. That will be another tough one from a CONCACAF country against a very top European side that we know that they have their own very, very good history as well. That is the Serbia national team. And of course, Costa Rica, they've not done badly at all. I remember them at the 2010 World Cup. They sprung some very, very good surprises at that World Cup. But until we come back, we look at that game. And of course, during this break, we show you the top 5 goals scored by the Switzerland team ahead towards the qualification for the FIFA World Cup. And of course, the top 5 goals scored by Serbia as well towards qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. So enjoy those beautiful 10 goals, and we'll be back on Russia Roundup and continue the show.
This is Russia Roundup with Sam and Bayo.
You're welcome back. It's still Russia Roundup here on Vineyard TV in Houston, Texas. 15.8 is the channel. You can hook us up and be part of this program. We appreciate all the viewers and all the comments that you have been dropping on our social media page. Let's get ourselves engaged as this program rages on. Even though the program ends on your big screen, the topics they continue. So you can hit us up on our social media. You see it roll across your
screen right now.
Your TV screen. Welcome back to Russia Roundup. We're talking about that Group E that comprises of Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Costa Rica. And we just finished talking about the game between Brazil and Switzerland. Now let's look at the game between Serbia and Costa Rica. Costa Rica, they are not new to the international stage. Mm-hmm. They stopped the USA from qualifying to the World Cup.
They did.
Even Serbia are not new. The country might be coming as a new country, kind of, but the country has been around, soccer for a long time. If you look at the appearances, they've been to World Cup 12 times. Their best result was 4th in 1930 and in Chile in 1962. So they are a decent team.
Very decent team. Very, very decent team. And of course, you can't push them over. But before I talk about that game, the viewers of the show can also hook up with this show on YouTube in case you miss it on Vineyard Television. Vineyard Television gave us a very, very good opportunity. You can watch the program on Saturday evening, and of course, you can also tune in on Wednesday evening to watch a repeat broadcast. But in case you miss both, you can always catch it on YouTube, and of course, you'll find the full episode of this wonderful show on it. So, like Sam said, come sponsor us, and of course, you'll be so glad you did. Sam, as you were saying, remember in 2014, Costa Rica were in the last 8 of that tournament. Yeah. So you can't say they are a very, very bad side. With Brian Ruiz, with Joel Campbell, former Arsenal player, of course, he couldn't make any headway at Arsenal. But of course, I remember his antecedent at the 2010 World Cup, and he came back again in 2014 in Brazil. This team looks really good. And of course, against Serbia, just anything might happen on that particular day.
It's an open game.
It is an open game. And like you said earlier, any other team that comes second apart from Brazil, because, I mean, all of us just knew this, except something happens to this Brazilian team, and that thing will have to really be damaging for Brazil not to really control 9 maximum points from this group. So it has to be down to Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia to know what they want from that group, who takes the second spot, who is going to be the second team in that group. But of course, I'm sure you're going to have much more details for us about Costa Rica and Serbia. Looking at the Serbian national team, the way they qualified as well.
Yeah, if you look at the national team, the way they qualified, they were in the same group with Northern Ireland, Wales, Austria, Georgia, and Moldova. And they amassed 21 points from 10 games. Republic of Ireland finished second on 19 points, and they won the playoffs. So Serbia, I won't say this group is a tough group, because Wales, Austria, Georgia, Moldova, Austria, and Georgia, these are not powerhouse in European soccer. I will give a little bit to Wales. Look at Wales' run in 2016 European Championship. You know, they went all the way.
Yes.
You know, it was just a tough luck. You know, they had tough luck and they couldn't, break through. So at that moment, Wales, I can put Wales there, because Wales were on the verge of pulling off, that qualification upset.
Of course.
Before they went out of gas. For Ireland, they're a little bit decent and okay, but I don't see them really challenging Serbia in that group. So Serbia really didn't play, a tough qualifiers.
It was kind of straightforward for them in that tournament.
They were favourite to make from that group. So now coming to the World Cup, Brazil, Swiss, Costa Rica, and Serbia. Brazil will qualify. Remember, in 2002 World Cup, Brazil beat Costa Rica 5-2, and Ronaldo, Edmilson, Rivaldo, and Junior Baiano all we are in discussion for Brazil. So I don't say anything less than 9 maximum points from Brazil in this group. And any other team that can win their first game between Costa Rica, Serbia, and Switzerland may join Brazil. But Brazil will come out as eventual group winners.
How about the influence of former Chelsea defender and very, very dependable defender for that matter, Branislav Ivanovic? Do you think there will be an upset between Costa Rica and Serbia that day? Is there anything that gives us a chance that there will be an upset in this group, in this particular match?
Ivanovic was on the twilight of his career at Chelsea before Chelsea, let him go. So I won't see him being that X factor for Serbia.
There is Marko Grujic as well.
Marko Grujic came to Liverpool. He hasn't really proved himself. Yes. He's on loan to Cardiff.
Because that's a tough
he's a young lad. He's talented.
21 years old.
But he has not proved himself, in that Liverpool team. So your club have no option than to send him out on loan to Cardiff.
And of course, I believe the loan deal as well is just to help the player further develop, and of course see how much more you can really bring in to that game. Okay, quickly now, Sam, before we take another break, Serbia now against Brazil. This is going to be another European side against Brazil. But even though we've given Brazil that green card, that in this game, in this tournament and that group, they're just going to wipe out everyone in that group. I think Serbia might just brought about a surprise on that day.
No, Brazil will be too much for Serbia to handle.
Are you really this confident just because of Neymar, or what is the source of your confidence?
If you look at that Brazilian squad, my brother, you will marvel at the talent that they have. I'm looking at. We all know Brazil. I remember Brazil is the only team that have qualified to a FIFA World Cup. So they have a pedigree and they have the players, to back it up. I'm looking at I've seen it. The current squad of Brazil national team, three goalkeepers, top Alisson for AS Roma, Casio for Corinthians. Remember, Brazilian league is tough.
Very tough.
The tough league. So for you to be goalkeeper for Corinthians,
#1
which is for Corinthians, top team in Brazil, that means you're good. Ederson for Manchester City. 3 top goalkeepers. How do you think they're going to compete on who will be #1? Now you have Dani Alves. Dani Alves, 34 years, but he's still.
Look at the way he's still playing. He's still playing at
26.
PSG.
We have Thiago Silva, the strongman of Paris Saint-Germain. Marcelo, at 29, he's still watching strong for Real Madrid. Miranda, at 33, he's still playing for Internacional. Marquinhos, PSG,
young man,
just 23 years old.
Very young lad.
Danilo for Manchester City. Alessandro for Juve. Man, come on. William, Paulinho, Fernandinho, Diego. Brazil has what it takes to hurt any team in Group E. And it will be one of those most talked about stories in the World Cup that this Brazilian national team failed to leave this World Cup. That will remind of Zico, who never was part of a World Cup winning team.
Okay, on the spot again, before we go for the next break, will Brazil win this World Cup in Russia?
They are my #1.
Okay, I think for me, my #1 will be the Argentines, and just maybe, Germans or the Spanish. Those are my
#1.
My top three teams that might just win this year's World Cup. Of course, we go quickly now for a break, and we'll bring you the World Cup qualifying roundup to show you how these Brazilians, they qualified for this World Cup in a very invisible manner. They beat everyone possible.
Yeah.
They just qualified with so much ease that you would think they will be the host of the World Cup. Let's give you those particular moments in the World Cup qualifying roundup of the FIFA World Cup, and of course, Russia roundup continue. My name is Bayo.
Messi now. Everyone on the edge of their seats. Messi going for goal!
Join the fun, the excitement, the build-up to the World Cup, Russia 2018. Join Sam and Bayo right here on this station as they review notable World Cup moments, participating teams, individual players, coaches, match officials, and many more. You don't want to miss Russia Roundup with your hosts, Sam and Bayo, right here on this station.
At last, Wayne Rooney has scored and the World Cup. It's an own goal. Brazil are behind off Marcelo. A nightmare start for the host nation.
Welcome back. It is still Russia Roundup with Bayo and Sam. And of course, we're looking at the Group E at this year's FIFA World Cup. Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and of course, Serbia in that group. It should be very, very easy for the Brazilians, of course. But as I always say, even though Sam is just too much confident for me, but he says Brazil will beat everyone in that group. But I just want to remind him that I hope he remembers what happened to the Spanish at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Was it 2010? No, 2014 FIFA World Cup, that everyone was like, what's going on with this team? They had no chance. They couldn't do anything because they were coming on that famous victory in 2010 just to be able to beat everyone. But there was a surprise waiting for them in Brazil. But notwithstanding, the last time this team won a World Cup, Brazil now, was as far back as the Korea-Japan 2002. Before we divert anywhere, do you think Brazil deserves another World Cup? Is it time for them?
Yes, it's time for them.
Okay.
It's more than 10 years.
Now, something happened last week. We looked at Group D, which comprises of Nigeria, Argentina, and of course Iceland and Croatia. But of course, just on that same day, the Nigeria Football Federation released the official kit for the Super Eagles for this year's FIFA World Cup. And personally, I think I was impressed with that jersey, of course, bringing back the memory of
US
1994 FIFA World Cup. But Sam, what's your take on that kit? We saw, number one, that kit was bring back the memory of US 94. But the second part, which has caused a lot of debate on social media, is that why they launched in London. But what's your take on that kit?
When this news broke about unveiling of this kit in London, I was one of the major people that spoke against it. The headquarters of the Nigerian Football Federation is where?
Abuja, Nigeria.
Abuja, Nigeria. We have a world-class event center that can host event like this. Yes, you can argue that with the bunch of our players playing the EPL, they're in London, so you take it closer to them, which will help them not to fly them out of London, travel. I understand all that. But now, if you look at what NFF have done in recent past in London, you ask yourself, when did the headquarters relocate from Abuja to London? Sonoluse was hired in London, right?
Yes, and it was showcased to us in
all
London.
the interviews for coaches of the Super Eagles, they held them in London. So why choose London over Abuja, Nigeria? Our headquarters is in Abuja. It's Nigerian Football Federation. England, FA, will not leave St. George Park
to do any other
to come to Abuja Stadium to launch their World Cup kit, even though their player play in Nigerian Premier League. The German Football Federation will not leave Munich
to do anything else
outside
of Germany.
So we mustn't unveil the player with the ones that play in the Premier League. We have Super Eagles players that play in domestic league who can be available to come and model this kit. And I want to use Alex Tiwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho,
which they did,
which they did, and I appreciate all that. But now, bring this thing close to the fans. Let them have a feel of this World Cup jersey. They are the ones who are going to buy it.
Yes.
And
because that's how the federation can make money.
If you have launched this product in Abuja, I promise you, you will have good sales. People want to buy it.
But Sam, do you think they launching it in London is going to affect the sales? And I think it
will not. But
I think there's a lot of sense.
Let the fans have a feel. Okay, look at all the friendly games Nigeria play all abroad. Only one we play at home. I don't know. Maybe the one with Congo. So you play Congo at home, but you playing Czech Republic, England, all the way.
In their country.
Then how do you want the fans to assess this team prior to the World Cup? Bring one A-list friendly game home. We have Abuja Stadium. We have Teslim Balogun Stadium. We have Uyo Stadium. There are still that can host A-list friendly game for Super Eagles. Let the fans have a feel. Man, this is Nigerian football. It's not UK football, my brother. So,
I am not going to be on the fence on this one, and I think I am actually not. I'm actually drawn in between both sides. You said it already that you want to agree with the fact that some of the top Super Eagles players actually play their trade in the English Premier League. And if you look at that launch that day, which the pictures are available on the NFF Instagram page at the NFF official, you will probably have the understanding because three of our most prized players, Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi, and Wilfred Ndidi were the trio were just right there on that day to represent Nigeria. But again, I want to support your notion that Nigeria should have the feel of this particular event. I mean, why not host this event in any of the many luxury hotels and many of the luxury places in Lagos, or even if you don't want to do it in Abuja, saying Abuja is filled with civil servants and all of that. Why not do it or maybe let's just give the NFF the benefit of doubt, Sam. Maybe they want to do a home edition when the Eagles.
I hope
at home. My other question is, do you see any correlation between the USA 94 team and the 2018 team? Because looks like that home design of that jersey looks just exactly like what Rashidi Yekini,
wore,
Daniel Amokachi and the likes wore in the 1994 World Cup? Are we having another golden generation of the Super Eagles?
Yeah, if you look at, I don't know if I'm going to call it golden generation, but we have a bunch of players now who are talented, who are young, who are quick, who are fast, and who want to play for Nigeria. That is why when the NFF go hand in cup begging Tammy Abraham, what's his name?
Tammy Abraham.
Tammy Abraham of Swansea, and he choose. I was like, who is this dude? We don't even know you. You know, we're trying to give you the platform for you to excel.
Or Sydney Sam or Bayer Leverkusen.
Look at Jordan Ibe or Jordan Ibe. You choose
he said
England. You're
Ibe,
waiting for English call-up and they cap you once. Look at Victor Moses, a Nations Cup winner.
Already.
African footballer. He should be his second World Cup.
Yes.
You know, Jordan Ibe hasn't even gotten a call-up, maybe I think once.
And it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Because he already plays for England right now.
So the NFL are giving you platform for you to excel, because the more you play for national team, the more your market value increase a little bit, and you know, the more your marketability also blossom.
So, do you think this team will go very, very far in the World Cup?
This team is young.
We had a lot of...
This team is young.
We gave them a lot of time last week on the show.
This team is young.
But
this team is hungry.
A long way.
This team is young. This team is hungry. They want to compete with other stars of national team. They play alongside them, their clubs, and they want to compete with them when they meet at the world stage.
And they're adventurous as well.
And they're adventurous.
I think that's one of the things that will really help this squad.
So Carlos Roa should tell the boys, go have fun.
Okay, go have fun, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Of course, we just have to divert a little bit into that particular discourse to talk about the release of the Super Eagles jersey. The same issue happened just this past week in England as well. Of course, some of the English press got their hands on the leaked picture of the Three Lions jersey that was going to be worn by the Three Lions at this year's FIFA World Cup, even though the English FA has not officially released that particular uniform. We'll go on another break, and of course, you know, we're still looking at Group E of this year's FIFA World Cup that has Brazil, that has Serbia, that has Costa Rica, and of course Switzerland. Of course, we'll take a very quick break now, and we'll bring you the highlight of one of the FIFA World Cup game. Is going to be Spain against Switzerland at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. The Spanish were shocked at that particular World Cup. Watch that highlight, and of course, Russia Roundup continue with Bayo and Sam. We'll be back.
This is Russia Roundup with Sam and Bayo.
Welcome back to the show. It is still Russia Roundup with Bayo and Sam. And of course, we're looking at the Group E at this year's episode of that. Sam, I said episode again. Something definitely must be happening between me and episode.
What you got with episode, bro?
And of course, this show is open for sponsorship, guys. Come put your product and services on this show. We can showcase your product on this screen right here. And of course, you will be very, very excited to see a very, very big boom in your product and services. Sam, Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. What do you think will be the second in this group? Since we already agree that, okay, unanimously, Brazil will be the main man, the main team in this particular
Brazil
group.
finish group winners. Switzerland finish as runner-up. You know.
Sam, you're not giving Costa Rica any benefit of that. I just told you earlier that this Costa Rican team were second. They were quarterfinalists at the last episode.
That was last World Cup. This is a new World Cup that come with new set of players.
Okay.
You know, and different national teams have changed coaches. You know, so the coach that brought Costa Rica to that World Cup 4 years ago is not the same guy that's still with them. You know, so this Switzerland, remember in 2010 they beat Spain 1-0, and that was the only game Spain lost until they won the championship.
True.
This Swiss team, over time, they are not a bad team. They're a decent team that can beat any big team on a very good day.
They have a very strong firepower.
They have.
Without any doubt.
You know, Brazil, group winners, Switzerland, runner-up. Costa Rica and Serbia.
I think personally, I want to give Serbia the edge in this particular one.
So Brazil, Serbia.
I feel Serbia might go all the way in this tournament, and I think Costa Rica might just be
the boogie team,
the dark horse in this particular group. Sam, as we reach home stretch on the show today, what are the exciting things that you're hoping that either of these teams that will be playing in this World Cup will bring into this championship? What are you looking forward to see? We definitely know that there will be colors, there will be glamour, there will be
pomp and pageantry. That's World Cup for you.
From the World Cup. There will be so many beautiful things that will happen. But what are the things that you are looking forward to the most at this World Cup?
I'm looking forward. This World Cup could have been very good had it been USA is going, because looking at what's going on in the political category between US and Russia, but US didn't qualify, so they're not going to Russia. So that's awesome. We are expecting to see a World Cup with a difference, because if you look at what went into during the bidding process of this World Cup, some FIFA bigwigs lost their jobs. They fell. Amos Adamu of Nigeria, a whole lot of them, Jack Warner, and a whole lot of them fell because of all the irregularities that happened during the bidding process. So we're going to see a different World Cup.
Sam, you not even mention the main man himself, the FIFA president.
No, FIFA president. I'm not talking about the lieutenant that we are taking down before they got to the main man. So we're going to see a World Cup with a difference. A World Cup that encompasses a whole lot of stuff, cultural differences. We're going to see countries that will come out with their own culture for us to see different colors, carnival, pomp and pageantry. And remember,
and so many beautiful women as well.
Yeah, you like women. I see that.
We have to talk about that, because I believe it's one of the things that football is all about.
And Brazil come with these beautiful female supporters that all
Spanish are going to be there, the Colombians are going to be there,
the Brazilians, samba and stuff like that. So it's going to be beautiful.
And the European ladies are beautiful too.
It's going to be beautiful.
You never. And
Russians they have
beautiful women. But and how about the impact of the weather? Because the weather has always been. I mean, last week on the show, I actually opened with the show with a report about the weather. That I think early in February, the weather was minus 67 degrees in that particular week.
Yeah, even some people eyelashes got frozen.
An African man visiting Russia at that time. How do you think he's gonna be able to have fun? Because the tournament is gonna be something fun for you.
That time is summer. It's summertime.
But when you say summer in Europe, I mean a couple of times I've been very fortunate to visit Europe. Even as frequent as I used to be a traveler, I normally put on jacket, and you look very odd to people at that time. So it might have some effect on some of the
players that come from the tropics.
On some of the players that come
but these are don't forget that these players have playing in Europe, so they are used to the weather. Even though they are coming with national teams, but they spend almost all their months in Europe, so they are used to playing during winter and playing during the summer. So I don't think it will be of any effect, negatively, impact on their play, because for Ahmed Musa, who was part of CSK Moscow, he has seen Russia cold weather, he has seen Russia hot and warm weather. So are you going to tell me that the weather will affect him?
Who knows? Maybe that's just one of the things that really inspired him going back to that sport.
So we expect to see a very good World Cup without Sepp Blatter. That's it.
That's a very beautiful one. And of course, that's going to be the punchline from Sam will be our parting shot today on the show. He said we're going to see a World Cup. I mean, the first World Cup without Sepp Blatter. Since some of us have really grown up after Joe Havilange, that was another very old FIFA executive
24 years
that left.
President.
Of course, Sepp Blatter was, and of course, not without giving him a very good applause for the good job he did as well, but he really left in a very, very, very shameful and disgraceful way. And of course, he also went down with a lot of very, very mighty people in Jerome Balke, UEFA president. I mean, all of them really went with that one. But of course, it's going to be about the beautiful game, soccer. And of course, we are going to enjoy every bit of that World Cup. Sam,
imagine if we play soccer the way the Americans play their football. Like you throw the ball, like I throw the ball to you, and you grab it, you stare on it, and then you go to the goalpost.
Like,
it will be crazy. But the fact is that soccer unites everybody, regardless of your race, your culture, your background. Once they say Nigeria playing Brazil, everybody comes together to enjoy the beautiful soccer, the beautiful game of soccer.
Come together.
So
we are going to be saying goodbye this week on the show. Sam, what's your goodbye?
Yeah, from us to you, thank you for watching us. Thank you for dropping the comment on our social media page. As I said, you can be part of this show. Just come and talk to us on how you can be part of this show. Look at the number on your screen right now. Give us a call, and we can, bring you on board. Your show your product can be here, and we can have fun on the show. So from us to you, we say keep up the good work. I'm Sam.
All right, thank you for watching, and of course, we'll see you again next week. My name is Bayo and Arashi. Special thanks to the production crew at Vineyard Television for a wonderful work, and of course for this beautiful set on the show. Of course, we round off the show this week with a very brilliant highlight: Brazil versus Korea DPR at the 2002 FIFA World Cup. We'll see you guys again next week, God willing. Bye-bye now.
God bless you all. Let's see, bro.
I said I'm okay, I've been better, not sure if it's paradise. And if it's the small things that matter, then maybe it's where it lies. But we're looking for keys to this world, left my high rise, looked back and said, no one's to believe that there's more to the sun.